ask you two more questions so that you guys have the right mindset when attending a 1% Club masterclass. My first question to you is, and here you can answer in the chat section, what is your dream job? Please put in the chat section, what is your dream job? Shakti is saying CA. Sunil is saying CHRO. Tushita is saying work in the tax department. Solution architect, data analytics, investment banking, finance controller, data scientist, CFO, CEO, businessman, more money, less job. The current job which I am doing, AGM in RBI, CEO of BlackRock, CFO, HR, CMA, chartered accountant, director, corporate lawyer. Fantastic. Now, imagine every single one of you have 100 crores in your bank account. Imagine every single one of you have 100 crores in your bank account. Now tell me, what is your dream job? Tell me, what is your dream job now, guys? Let's see. Sit at home with family and take care of parents. Entrepreneur, invest, startup, farming, retire, sleep. Work as businessman, produce my own film, building, painting. I won't work. Investor and farming. Help the society. Relax and enjoy. Travel the world. Retired citizen. Traveler. Enjoy the life. Travel blogger. Coffee shop. Go to Goa. All right. So what is the moral of the story, guys? What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is very, very simple. Every single one of us are living a life where money is controlling you. Let me repeat that. Every single one of us is living a life where money is controlling you. When I asked you the first question, most of you guys answered thinking, what will make you the most amount of money? But when I asked you the second question, same question, but this time you have money in your bank account. Your answer is not to run behind more money, but to live a life where money doesn't control you. And the state of achieving this, guys, is called financial freedom. Financial freedom is a state of life where you are living your life without money controlling you. You can wake up whenever you want. You can work how much ever less you want, and it doesn't matter because it is not necessary for you to put your time to earn extra money anymore. 99% of you, what are we doing? We exchange our time for money. We go to the office for a salary. That is what we do. We go to the office 9 to 5 and you get a salary. But once you achieve financial freedom, you are no longer required to exchange your time for money. Your money is making more money. Let me repeat. Your money is making more money. This is called passive income. So how many of you all want to achieve this state of financial freedom? Please write me in the chat section. Right? And that is why you guys are here. Most of your friends are probably still sleeping, are probably still hungover from last night. But you guys have woken up on a weekend to actually learn about finances. Yes, today you'll be learning about taxation and we're going to go into full details about taxation. But do not forget that financial freedom is a combination of stock market, mutual funds, real estate, credit cards, insurance, and taxation. Only once you master all of these things, you can achieve financial freedom. Is this clear, guys? If this much is clear, please write clear in the chat section. Amazing. Anand, Ashita, Shubham, Ketki, Hardik, Nikun, Sudipta, Chandrakant, Abir. All right. Too many people. I think there are about 1,500 people in this masterclass. The biggest tax masterclass we've ever had. And the reason is obvious. The day is coming very close. Cool. So who am I? For those of you who don't know, I'm the founder and CEO of the 1% Club. The 1% Club has more than 80,000 members who are constantly learning towards achieving financial freedom. It's a company that I started about 3 years back. I am Forbes 30 under 30, more than 1 crore followers on social media. Some of you must be following me for my content on Instagram and YouTube. More than 5 lakh students have attended my masterclasses. And I'm an angel investor in a lot of startups. These are some of my honorable mentions. I gave my first book to MS Dhoni. I had done a podcast with Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have raised money from Nikhil Kamath, who is the co-founder of Zerodha, one of the largest fintech companies of India, and he's a billionaire. Right? So these are some of my honorable mentions. And this is CA Nitesh Buddhadev, who is going to be our tax teacher for today. Now, CA Nitesh is not your ordinary CA. There are lakhs of CAs in this country. Obviously, he is a phenomenal CA himself when it comes to getting a good rank. But beyond that, he is a celebrity chartered accountant. He is somebody who comes on TV channels whenever there is any update in the world of stock market. Any update in the world of taxation. And that is how I found out about him when I was watching TV. And I reached out to him asking, hey, you have a lot of knowledge, but you're only helping HNIs. You're only helping, the ultra-rich people of this country save crores in taxes. Please help the middle class people also, because they don't have access to good chartered accountants, right? And I'm sure you agree with me that your chartered accountant today is not doing a good enough job, and which is why you are here today, which is why you are unhappy, and you are here today to learn about the things which your CA is not doing, right? So CA Nitesh is somebody who is going to teach you some things which I'm sure you would not have found anywhere on the internet, right? Nitesh, you want to talk a little bit about yourself before we begin?
Thanks a lot, Sharan. It's my pleasure to be here, and very good morning. Good to see such a big number of people joining this weekend. So Sharan, like you rightly said, only taxation will not solve the problem, because see, I want to save taxation, but ultimate my aim is financial freedom. But of course, whatever I'm earning, Sharan, I need to pay tax on that. So how I can minimize that and how I can maximize the income? If I combine this much, I'm sorted. So that's what the purpose here. I know, guys, you must be wondering that this is a tax masterclass, but yes, guys, that's what we are giving you kind of as a bonus. That we want to combine these two things which make more sense and not just saving taxes.
Absolutely, because see, most of us get it wrong. We think tax is only about your salary taxation. But you need to look at tax in combination with your investments. If you do not look at it that way, then you are looking at it in isolation, which doesn't work. Right? You need to combine multiple things together to understand taxes. So, what is the agenda for today? This is what we will be calculating. First is how to calculate your FIRE number. FIRE number, for those of you who don't know, is your retirement number. Second is what were the changes in budget 2025, which is going to impact your tax planning. Then we are going to understand my asset allocation secrets, which I personally follow for my investments, which helps me save maximum taxes and get the highest returns on my portfolio. Then we will learn how to invest like the top 1%. And finally, we will learn how to 3x your returns while paying the least amount of taxes. How many of you all are pumped and excited for the agenda for today? Please write pumped in the chat section. Fantastic. Amazing. So let us begin, guys. First thing is how to calculate your FIRE number. Now, like I told you guys, today's session is not just going to be about taxation. It is going to be understanding how to save taxes, considering all your financial goals, right? Now, the most important financial goal that every single one of us have is achieving retirement. Now, before we do that, we need to know how to calculate that retirement number. Why don't you guys put in the chat section what you think is your retirement number? And then I will tell you how I calculate it. Okay, 4 crore, 100 crore, 50 crore, 45 crore, 20 crore, 8 crore, 10 crore, 4 to 5 crore, 6.5 crores. All right. So this is what we're going to do, guys. It's a 3-step formula. It's firstly, you need to understand what your monthly expenses is today. Then you assume a personal inflation for yourself, and then you set a retirement age. Now for this, we have a tool called the Fire Calculator tool. Can everybody see my screen, guys? So this is one of the tools that we have in the 1% Club called the Fire Calculator tool. Is my screen visible? All right. So I'm going to assume that my desired monthly expenses is 1 lakh a month. My current age, it's around 30 years. Right now I'm 30 years. Right? And my retirement age, let's assume, will be 50. I'm assuming a 7% inflation for myself, which brings to yearly expenses of 12 lakhs a year. But at the time of retirement, because of this 7% inflation, it is going to be 46 lakhs a year. Let me repeat that. Today I'm spending 1 lakh a month. But because of inflation, at the age of 50, I will be spending 46 lakhs a year. Now, what is this number? This is my retirement number, 11.6 crores. At the time of retirement, which is at the age of 50, if I have 11.6 crores, I can consider myself as financially free. I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to go to the office anymore. This money will take care of me forever until I die. That is what this tool tells us to do. Now, how many of you are thinking that this 11.6 crore is a very high number and it is impossible for you to achieve? How many of you think it is impossible? Write me in the chat section. All right. Somebody is saying it is, some people are saying it is possible, but most of you all are saying impossible. Now, I will tell you how easy it is to achieve this kind of a number. So this is one of our online tools in the 1% Club. This is our SIP tool. I'll just open it for you quickly. So let us assume that you can invest 20,000 rupees per month. Okay, and you can also increase your savings by 15% every year. How? Very simple. I will show you. Assuming you can increase your salary by 10% every year. Okay, now you might be like, how 10% every year, Sharan? Sometimes they are only giving me 5% hike. Sometimes they're giving me only 8% hike. Correct. But on an average, some years you'll get a promotion. Some years you'll switch your job. Sometimes you'll get a yearly bonus. Right? So some of the years you'll get a 20% hike. Some of the years you'll only get a 7% hike. But on an average, most of us, it's very easy to get a 10% hike if you are good at what you're doing. If you're not good at what you're doing, then obviously you will not get that hike. So 10% hike is easy. Now the second most important thing is ensure that your expenses are not increasing by more than 5% every year. If you can do that, your savings can increase by 15% every year. That is what step up means. Is this much clear? Write clear in the chat section if this much is clear. Fantastic. Right? Very simple topic. You know, in the world of finance, we use complicated terms like step up. But the explanation is very simple. How much can your savings increase by every year? So coming back to this tool, I'm also going to assume that I can generate at least 15% every year, 15% every year. And I have 20 years for this goal. If you do this much, guys, that itself is 7.4 CR just by investing 20k per month. If you invest 30k per month as a couple, 11 crores. Right? Now you might be thinking, Sharan, mathematics is fine, Excel is fine, but this 15% returns, how to get? I'm not getting 15% returns. How many of you all are having that doubt? Please write me in the chat section. How many of you all are having that doubt? 15% returns out to you. Now, can I show you my own personal portfolio where I have actually beaten these 15% returns as well? Can I show you my own personal portfolio? Samir is saying not possible, Sharan. I will show you. Can I show you my portfolio? Let me show you. So this is my own personal portfolio, guys. And this is obviously a diversified portfolio. I invest in stocks, US stocks, mutual funds, bonds, cryptocurrencies, real estate. I invest in everything. Can you see my screen, guys? Is my screen visible? All right. So now I'll show you my mutual fund portfolio. And as you can see, that is a 32.67% return. Can you see my screen? 32.67% return. And this is over 5 years. Right? It's not like I invested last year. Right? So every year I'm able to get these sort of returns. Now I'll show you my US stocks portfolio. That is 29.22% return. Right? And guys, these are all real numbers. I'm actually opening the page and showing it to you. Right? 29.22% return. Right? And then I'll also show you my bond portfolio. Bonds are fixed investments. Right? This is in just less than a year, I've gotten more than 10% return on my bond portfolio. So I'm just showing you glimpses of some of my portfolio returns so that you have an idea that it is not impossible to generate 15% returns. It is possible. Now you know that it is possible. No, let me show you my annualized return. 1 second. 16.34%. Can you see this, guys? 16.34% return. XIRR. This is over 5 years. Now you might be thinking, Sharan, this is because of COVID. I've invested way before COVID also. Right? Which are in other portfolios. I'm showing you one of my portfolios. This is 16.34. XIRR, guys, is CAGR of your returns. Now you guys agree with me that it is possible to get these kind of returns? Because I've shown you in reality that it is possible. Fantastic. Cool. So that is to tell you guys that if you are good with saving your money, if you can increase your savings rate every year, and if you're investing in the right places, you can achieve financial freedom in the next 15-20 years of your life. But there is one problem. Problem is the government won't let you retire easy. The government wants to charge you taxes. So I want CA Nitesh now to sort of tell us exactly what is happening with our money, Nitesh. That, okay, I've saved money, I've invested in the right mutual funds, I'm getting 15%, 16% returns, but how can taxes destroy me? Please let us explain the entire explanation behind it.
Sure. Thanks. So guys, you know that right now there are two kind of regime, old regime and new regime. And by the way, both exist. It's not that old regime is already done with. Okay, no. So how you are taxed if you are in the old regime? Simple 3 slab, 0 to 2.5 lakh rupees, you don't pay any taxes. 2.5 to 5 lakh, you pay 5%, 5 to 10, you pay 20%, and more than 10 lakh, you pay 30% tax. Now, you might say that it's very easy choice that I should be going for a new regime, but it's not that simple. Right now, as we speak, more than 20 to 25% of our clients has opted for an old regime, and I'll come to that. But first, let me show you what are the tax rate in the new regime. Can you go to next slide, Sharan? So guys, as you know, as per the current budget from the 1st April 25, if you are in the new regime, you don't pay any tax till 0 to 4 lakh, which is 0%, 4 to 8, 5%. So let me make it very simple, because by now you must be knowing this tax rate. Every 4 lakh you can observe 5% taxes is going higher. So only above your 24 lakh rupees of income, you pay 30% tax. Now, you might be confused again. It is everybody saying that till 12 lakh 75,000, I don't need to pay any taxes. While this lab rate says 0 to 4 lakh 0, but 4 to 8, 5, 8 to 12, 10%. Guys, because this is rebate benefit is available if you are in a new regime. Also, it's there in the old regime, but in the new regime, up to 12 lakh rupees of income, you don't need to pay any taxes because of the rebate. Now, the next question might come: if my income is 15 lakh rupees, do I need to pay tax only on 3 lakh rupees? No, guys, it's not gonna work like that, because rebate is only available up to the income of 12 lakh rupees. So if your salary is 12 lakh 75,000, and I know more than 75% of you have already more than 12 lakh rupees of income. If your salary is more than 12 lakh rupees, but let's say 75,000 is also a standard deduction, so this you need to pay on net of all the deduction and exemption you have. So this is how the new regime look like, when there is no tax till 12 lakh 75,000, but once you crosses that, you have to start paying taxes from 4 lakh onwards. Now, you must be wondering, and you already got mail from your HR, which regime you want to select and opt it right now, right? And most of you would have selected the regime. Can you let me know in the chat which regime you have selected, new or old? New, old, okay. Wow, it's going like a Zoom. There are more than 1,500 people, guys. I'm reading all of your chat. So Sharan, we can see that most of the people has opted for new one, but there are many people who have still opted for the old regime also. Now, I would like to ask you one question. How you got to know that which regime is beneficial for you? How you got to know which regime is beneficial for you? Through Google, through AI? I chose because my HR told me, because my friend told me, Google, okay, my auditor, ChatGPT. Wow, guys, I know some of you must have known how to opt for which regime and which regime is beneficial for you. Before I go to, and I'll tell you in 60 seconds which regime is better for you, and even if you have chose the regime, you will get a 100% conviction that you are with the right regime and you are paying the best tax possible, or at least on your salary. Okay, so I'll tell you that. But before that, one thing which you all would have observed, who were last year in the new regime and this year also in a new regime, one thing you all would have observed, that your in-hand salary has increased. How many of you observed that from what you got in 31st of March, okay, March 25 versus what you got in April, May has increased? Sharan, almost all are saying that their in-hand salary is increased. Do you know why it has increased?
Why it has
I'll
increased?
show you, and I'll give you the exact proof that by how much amount it has increased. Do you all want to know that? Why that increase in a in-hand salary? Okay, most of you want to know. Sharan, can we go to the next slide? Okay, guys. Thanks to the budget changes, and if you all are wondering how much it should have been increased for you, let me tell you what it would be and what is the actual increase in your salary, and this is the logic and reason behind that. So guys, if your salary is 12 lakh 75,000 and below this year, and also in the same range last year also, so after budget 25 you don't need to pay any tax, but till last year it was only till 7 lakh 50,000 you don't need to pay any tax. So you were paying 83,200 rupees of taxes if your salary is 12 lakh 75,000 and less, but now you will pay zero tax, which means saving of 83,200. And because of that, this year onwards, this financial onwards, your net in-hand salary has increased. Why? Because your taxes went down. Now, if your income is 15 lakh rupees, okay, from salaries, then you were paying 1 lakh 30,000 in taxes. This year you will pay 97,500 in taxes during the whole year. Now you know how TDS work. That 97,500 divided by 12. And that's why every month you are paying less of TDS, and that's why more of in-hand salary. If your income is 20 lakh, you were paying 2 lakh 78,200 in taxes. This year you're gonna pay 1 lakh 92,400, which is 85,800 rupees of increase in hand income, because that's your savings, less tax you are paying. But all of you are here and whose income is more than 24 lakh 75,000. Okay, if your income is more than 24 lakh 75,000 or 24 lakh 75,000, for 12 lakh 75,000 last year you paid 4 lakh 26,400 in taxes. This year you will pay 3 lakh 12,000 in taxes, which means saving of 1,14,400. So even if your salary is 40 lakh, 50 lakh this year, the maximum you're going to save is 1,14,400. Now I hope you all realize why you are getting more in hand in the when it comes to your income, even though there is no increment or bonus. Hello, you got this point? Are we crystal clear with that? Awesome. Now, the main question: which regime is beneficial for you? And guys, even you have already opted for a regime. Let me tell you, after this next slide, in next 60 seconds, you will get a 100% conviction that you are with the right regime or not, and that I'll prove it to you. So stay with me, and can we go to next slide, sir? Okay, dear friends. So you just need two figures right now. Each one of you present here, each one of you. Okay, we will with 100% surety will tell you which regime is beneficial for you and why we are doing this exercise, because you should not be paying more in taxes. That's one of our goals, and that's why you joined this masterclass today, right? Now I just need two figures from you. You all calculate for yourself. What is your income? What is your income? You can see on the left hand side what is your income. And other thing you must be knowing, which is what is the deduction and exemption you can claim for yourself. Okay, what are those deduction and exemption? ATC, which is your let's say term insurance premium, LIC premium, what is your contributing to your EPF and all that thing. Note down that your HRA, if you can claim, your LTA you can claim, health insurance premium. See, because this you are anyway paying. Forget about right now. Don't get confused with old regime, new regime. Right now, just focus on these two numbers. What is your income and how much deduction and exemption you can claim? Okay, if you have these two numbers, guys, in next 60 seconds, you know with 100% conviction which is right regime for you. Okay, now let me give you how that works. If your, let's say, income is 15 lakh rupees, if your income is 15 lakh rupees, which is your CTC is 15 lakh rupees, and the deduction and exemption you can claim is 5,93,750 for you, the tax payable under both the regime is same. I repeat, if your income is CTC is 15 lakh and the deduction and exemption you can claim is 5,93,750, the tax you pay under both the regime is same. Which means if your deduction and exemption you can claim is higher than 5,93,750, you should go for old regime. Otherwise, go for new regime. So before I explain the next income level, please take a screenshot of that if you want it. Now, let's say your income is 20 lakh rupees. How much deduction and exemption you need? Your 20 lakh rupees of CTC, you need 7,58,333 rupees of deduction and exemption, which means you pay the same tax under both the regime, which also means you need higher than this for beneficial of old regime. Otherwise, stay with new regime. Last but not the least, if and many of your income is more than 24,75,000 rupees, guys, you need 8,50,000 of deduction and exemption for you to be in old regime. Otherwise, stay with new regime. Are you guys getting my point? All of you got my point that if you know your CTC and if you know your deduction and exemption with 100% surety, right now you know that which regime is better for you. For all of you have two questions, that how to get this deduction, and please explain me. Let me give you an example of my dear friend Sharan. Okay, Sharan, can we go to the next slide?
Sure. So guys, I see some of you are saying not clear. Don't worry, you will understand it with more clarity in the next slide.
Sure. So for all of you who have not got it, or if you are wondering that how to get to that 88.5 lakh rupees of deduction and exemption, let me tell you how. Let's say Sharan's salary is 20 lakh rupees. Now what I need to see that which regime is beneficial for Sharan. Sharan's CTC is 20 lakh rupees. Okay, the first thing you can claim is a standard deduction of 50,000, because in old regime also standard deduction of 50,000 is allowed. Now Sharan can claim, because he's staying on a rent, 4.7 lakh rupees of HRA. There is a calculation of HRA involved. What is rent you are paying, which city you are staying into, and that formula to calculate HRA. He is claiming 4,70,000 of HRA. He is claiming leave travel allowance. Okay, when he's traveling apart from his work, he claimed that 40,000 rupees ATC, your EPF, your LIC premium, your ELSS mutual fund, you combine it all, maximum 1.5 lakh. He's claiming 1.5 lakh of ATC, ATD of 50,000. Health insurance premium is paying for himself and his parent, 50,000 rupees of ATD. And also he has outstanding education loan. Guys, if you took any kind of education loan for you or your family member, you can claim 80 under ATD, that interest payment, unlimited interest payment, and Sharan is claiming 72,000 rupees of that. If you total it, my dear friends, this is 8.3 lakh rupees of deduction. What is his salary? CTC is 20 lakh rupees. Now, can we go back to the last slide, Sharan? Let's see at 20 lakh rupees, how much deduction and exemption I need to break even. 7,58,000. But how much Sharan has? Next slide. Yeah, 8.3 lakh rupees. What I told you, which regime is beneficial? Because now you know that number, right? It is more than that desired number, which is 8.3 lakh, is higher than the desired number, and that's why Sharan is saving 38,000 rupees of taxes by opting for an old regime. Am I clear? Guys, you would having two questions, right? That's which regime is beneficial for you. You got the answer. How to get to this deduction and exemption? That is particularly depend upon your individual thing, that how much HRA, LTA, ATC, ATD, all these things you have. And last but not the least, if you select the right regime, you can save lakhs of rupees in taxes, guys. And that's why I'm telling you, you just need to do this simple exercise. Are we clear? Okay, but by the way, if you are asking me what about the housing loan and all that, yes, you can claim it all, but to give you the practical example, I'm saying that I have not yet considered your food coupons, the other flexi benefit you are getting. That's what I'm saying. You just need to calculate it right. Don't just blindly go by what Google is saying, what media is saying, that old regime is dead. I just shown that old regime is not dead. You have to analyze for yourself which is beneficial. Is this beneficial, guys? Is this helping you? Can you write mind blowing in the chat? If you really liked it, very helpful. Yes, mind blowing. Thank you, Arjun. Yes, Sharan. So I wanted to highlight this part, and of course, many things like this, which will definitely blow your mind, and not only mind blowing, which will help you save taxes.
Right, guys, this is just, we just started off just with the salary taxation optimization. But now I want to go deeper into investment taxation optimization. Every one of us is only worried about your income, how to reduce taxes. But what to do in terms of reducing taxes after you invest money? You might not know this, but government wants to take taxes everywhere. When you are making money also, and after you invest money, if you make money again, they want to charge taxes. So you need to optimize on both ends of the funnel. Inflow is salary. Nitesh just taught you how to save taxes. Once you park that money somewhere, whether it is stocks, mutual funds, gold, real estate, FDs, bonds, how do I save taxes there? Do you still want to pay taxes after paying taxes on the salary again? No, I don't want to pay again. So are there some hacks to reduce taxes over there? There are. So I'm going to teach you that right now. Is this much clear, guys? The salary tax optimization, because this is the foundation level. If this is clear, write clear in the chat section. Somebody asked, so Sharan should select which regime? What is the correct answer? What should Sharan select in this example? The old regime. Not new, guys, old regime. Because old regime still is saving me more taxes than the new regime. So don't think that the old regime is not required anymore. That's a mistake that you will make. Okay, fantastic. Now let's move forward. Now let us understand how to save taxes when you're investing your money. Important thing. If you're investing for a short-term goal, how to save tax. If you're investing for a medium-term goal, how to save tax. If you're investing for your retirement, how to save tax. So I'm going to go in full depth of every single one of these investment strategies. First, let's understand
అదే
what is
ఇప్పుడు
available to you,
మాకు 6 లక్షలు అప్పు
right?
ఉంది.
For
నాకు
investing,
ఐటీ అయితే నేను లెక్క
there is
ఐటీఐ
you
చేయాలి
either
అంటే
keep your money
కోరుకోవడమే
in
తప్పు.
cash, you will invest in
దొంగ
fixed
పని
deposit,
కోరుకోవద్దు.
debt
దొంగ
funds,
వాళ్ళది.
gold,
అందరూ అన్ని
real
చిన్న పని
estate,
చేస్తుంది.
stock market or mutual funds.
ఆ బాబు
All of these things are
ఒక క్లాస్
options
బాబు
available
గంటల
to you
స్టార్ట్
for
అయిపోయింది.
investing.
గంట
Now, how are you guys investing your money? This is data from
ఈ
RBI,
క్లాస్
guys.
అయిపోగానే స్టార్ట్
This is
అయిపోతుంది.
data from RBI.
సరే
What is this data telling you? Please tell me in the chat section, what is this data telling you?
వస్తలేదు. ఏమైందిరా అంటే ఒక క్లాస్ బాబు ఒక గంటగా స్టార్ట్ అయితే అంటే
More than half of your money is in your
రాలేదు.
property, right? If this is not good investing, by the way,
మాకు
right? This is most of you guys are doing this. More than half of your money is in property,
లక్షలైంది
right? Now all of us know that the property grows by 5-6% every year,
నాకు
right? And even if you're giving it for rent, you will not make a lot of money. So this is the major problem of majority of people in India today, that more than 50% of our money is not growing fast enough. Right? Look at this. Only 5% is in stock market. That's it. Only 5% is in stock market. Can you ever achieve retirement if you invest like this?
నార్మల్ బిస్కెట్స్
Yes or no?
ఉండే అవి అమ్ముకున్నాం.
Absolutely no.
ఒక ప్లాట్
Now, am I saying that fixed deposit is bad, real estate is bad, gold is bad? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that know how to invest your money. You need to know exactly how to divide the money across various assets. Everything is important. When I showed you my portfolio earlier, I told you I invest everywhere. But in what proportion you're investing is very, very important. But for that, how do we do that exactly? How do we do that? How do we know if I have 100 rupees, how much rupees will go into stocks, how much will go into gold, how much will go into fixed deposit, how much will go into bonds? How do we do that? For that, there is something called financial goal-based planning. So everybody has played Monopoly here. Everybody has played Monopoly. Monopoly is a board game where you try to become rich. Life is like that. Life is a game of Monopoly. You need to buy a house, you need to buy a car, you need to save for education, you need to get married, you need to have kids, you need to go for vacations. That is life, right? So what I want every single one of you to do right now, every single one of you, please take a pen and paper and list out all your financial goals. And once you do that, I'm going to tell you exactly how to save taxes for each of them.
ఐటీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదు బావా.
So start off with short-term
ఒకసారి
goals,
చిన్న ఉన్నప్పుడేమో
anything which is less than 3 years old.
ఈవెంట్ ఆర్గనైజర్
I want to go to Bali.
సరే
I want to buy iPhone 17.
అది ఒక
I want to buy a car. So these are all short-term
బ్యూటీ
goals.
పార్లర్ నాకు బ్యూటీ
What is
పార్లర్
medium-term goals?
కానీ
5 years later, I'm getting married.
చేయాలని ఉంటుందని నేను అప్పుడు
4 years later, I need to buy a house.
అనేది 100% హార్ట్ పెట్టి చేయాలి.
3 years or 4 years later, I'm gonna. Sorry, 5 years later, I said after getting married. So 5 years later, I'll have kids. So these are all medium-term goals.
అదే కదా.
Then comes long-term goals.
ఇప్పుడు
20 years later, I have to get retired.
లేదు మైండ్. ఆ మైండ్
25 years later, my kid will go to Harvard.
ఇట్లే ఉండాలి.
30 years later, my kid will get married.
అనే మైండ్ సెట్
I need to save for that,
అందరూ ఐటీ చేయాలి.
right? So these are long-term
జాబ్
goals.
చేయాలి, జాబ్ చేసి
Now, once this is done, please give me a thumbs up in the chat section if you've written all of these down.
జాబ్ చేస్తాను. నేను సంపాదించా నీకు ఇంటికి సంబంధం.
You can write on a piece of paper, guys. Let's finish it off. Because only then it becomes real. If you are just thinking, it doesn't happen, write on a piece of paper. Okay, now tell me how many goals do you have? How many financial goals do you have?
ఏం చదివానంటే
Put the number in the chat section. How many goals do you have?
నేను డిప్లొమా
15, 7, Dinesh is saying 5, Bhavik 4, Arjun 10, Sejal 6, 12, 10, 15, 5. Fantastic. Now each of these goals, guys, you need to save taxes. So first let's understand short-term goals. Let us say, give me an example of a short-term goal in the chat section, guys.
వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళిపోయారు.
What goal do you have? Okay, most of you all are saying car. Buying a new car. Or vacation. Higher education. iPhone. Marriage. Or build a house. Now what are you guys doing? You guys are doing this. Commercial bank fixed deposit. What is commercial bank fixed deposit? ICICI Bank, SBI Bank, Axis Bank, Yes Bank, Kotak Bank, IndusInd Bank, Bank of Baroda, IDBI Bank. You guys are investing in these banks, right? FDs. Give me yes or no in the chat section. Are you investing in the FDs of these banks?
చెప్పేటప్పుడు బాగానే ఉంటది మన కాడికి వచ్చేసరికి
Yes.
99%
99% of you all are saying yes.
మా బాబు
Because that's what we've been taught by our parents. That's what we get calls for. When from our salary account, the bank manager will call, sir, FD open kar do. Sir, open FD open madi. Right? That's what happens. Then there is liquid fund. How many of you are investing in liquid funds? Please write yes or no in the chat section.
పిల్లగాళ్ళకి ఏం లేదు కదా ఇట్లా అని అంటే ఇసుంటి పిల్లగానికి అల్లు
Lot of people saying yes, liquid fund is like a mutual fund for fixed deposit.
ఇసుంటి
Now the problem with these funds or investments or short-term goals that you're paying tax at the highest
పైసలు ఉంది
rate, like the slab is as per your slab rate. If I assume that you guys are in the highest slab rate, which is 30%, which I'm sure more than half of you guys are, that's why you guys are here. Post-tax return is 5.3%, 4.2%. How many of you all are happy with these returns? Are you happy with the 5% return?
ఇది పెదవాబు
What is inflation?
మా అమ్మ మా బాబు తెలివి ఏం చేసిందంటే
What is inflation? 7%?
పెదవాబు
Are you making money or are you losing money by investing in these things?
మా ఫ్యామిలీ పెదమ్మ
losing
ఫ్యామిలీ
money.
అత్తమ్మ
You
కలిపి
are losing minus 2%, minus 3% every year,
పెదవాబు ఒక దగ్గర కూర్చోండి
right?
పెడితే
So I will now tell you what I do.
ఉంది మొత్తం
A lot of people said they don't invest in fixed deposit, which is also a mistake. There is a special kind of fixed deposit called small finance bank fixed deposit. Now these banks
మా అమ్మని ఒకటే
gives 8 to 9% return. Even after paying 30% tax, you are making 6 to 7%. Now I will tell you how to make this zero. I will also tell you how to make this zero. Very, give me a few seconds, few minutes. I'll help you make this zero as well. Second option is bonds, which gives you 9 to 12% returns. And I will show you my own portfolio in bonds to prove to you that I'm actually getting these kind of returns. Here also you will pay 30% tax, but still you make 7 to 8% returns.
అనేసరికి
Now I actually want to show you with mathematics how much money you will save. So I'm going to open one of our tools called the debt optimization tool. Can everybody see my screen? Is my screen visible, guys? Give me yes or no in the chat section. Is this visible? Fantastic. So now I'm going to assume a lot of people said that you want to buy a car or you want to buy a house in the next 2-3 years. Now when you go buy a car or buy a house, let us assume you're buying a house and you need to save at least 20 lakhs for the down payment of the house. Okay, you need to have 20 lakhs for the down payment of the house. What is down payment? If you need to buy a 2 crore house, will the banks give you 2 crores or will they first tell you, please give me 10% of the money, then take the 2 crores? They will not give you 2 crores like that. You need to put your own money first. That is your down payment. So for most people, 20 lakhs you have to save to buy a house. If you are living in a big city, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, 20 lakhs you need. Yes or no? You need 20 lakhs, yes or no, for that kind of a house? Who will give it? If your dad is rich, your dad will give you. If your dad is not rich, you have to save. Now what do most of you do? You will keep it in a fixed deposit. Now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. First, we're going to put a normal bank. Normal bank. Okay. If it's a normal bank, how much percentage are you getting interest? How much will the normal bank give you interest rate? Please put in the chat section how much are you getting. Aditya is saying 6%, 7%, 7.2%. Let me put 7%. Okay, I'm going to put 7%. Then I'll tell you about bonds. SBI bond gives you 9% return. Okay. If you had invested in a bond instead of investing in SBI ka FD, you would have made 1 lakh rupees extra money in 3 years. You would have made 1 lakh rupees extra money just from the higher returns. Okay. Now I'm going to teach you something else. Let us invest in a small finance bank. Here, small finance bank will also give you 9% return. Now it is becoming similar. Same. Bond and fixed deposit is giving you similar returns. But now here is the hack. Do not invest in your name. Why? Because you are taxed at the 30% slab rate. I will invest in my senior citizen dad's name. My dad is 69 years old, which makes him a senior citizen. Now, according to the laws of taxation in this country, When you're a
సంబంధం
senior citizen,
సాగైంది. ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం
up
వాళ్ళ
to
దిక్కు అయినప్పుడు
50,000 rupees of FD
అమ్మతో
profit
అంత ముందు
is
ఉన్నట్టు
tax
కాకుండా
free
తాగి
every
ఇట్లా
year.
ఇద్దరు పెట్టేటి చేసిందిరా.
Because of which
తెల్లారి
this
తీసుకోవాలి
has
చేసి
gone up. Now it is
మాట్లాడాలి.
24,50,000 rupees.
ఇప్పుడు
This
వాళ్ళు
is 37,000
కొంచెం
rupees
తేడా
more than the
ఉంటుంది
bond.
కదా. ఊరికే ఇట్లా
Okay. Now,
ఈ మళ్ళా
my dad, because he's a senior citizen, he will get 0.5% extra
ఎవరికైనా
also,
మాట్లాడితేనే నిమ్మలం అవుతుంది.
because he's a senior
అమ్మకే
citizen.
ఫోన్ చేసి
So now you are making 61,000 rupees more. If I compare that with, let's say, another fixed deposit,
తప్పటడి చేయకు.
SBI fixed deposit,
మళ్ళీ పైసలు మాట్లాడకు.
giving me 7%.
అంటే
See that difference?
ఒకసారి మాట్లాడుకున్నప్పుడు
1,59,000 rupees extra money you will make just by investing in a small finance bank fixed deposit in your senior citizen family member's name, because you will A, get higher returns, and B, save a lot of taxes. If this was mind blowing to you guys, please write MB2 in the chat section. MB2 in the chat section, because we just taught you how to make 1,59,000 rupees more by following some simple rules of taxation in this country. Very simple. Can everybody do this? Do you need a CA to tell you what to do here? No, you only have to do this. It's very simple. Can everybody do this? Shraddha is asking, should they be alive for that? Absolutely, Shraddha, they have to be alive for you to open a bank account in your family member's name. Right? What about the risk associated with a small finance bank? Good question. Very good question. Now, small finance banks are insured up to 5 lakhs. Okay. RBI will insure you up to 5 lakh rupees. Firstly, no small finance bank has ever gone bankrupt in India in the last 75 years of independence. But even if it does, 5 lakhs is insured. Now you might be like, okay, Sharan, but I'm putting 20 lakhs. Now here is the hack. Don't put 5 lakhs in one person's, 20 lakhs in one person's name. The hack is, I can put 5 lakhs in my senior citizen dad's name. I can put 5 lakhs in my grandfather's name, grandmother's name. I can put 5 lakhs as a joint account between me and my senior citizen dad. That is also considered as a separate account. So I'll repeat. One account is my dad. Second account is a joint account between me and my dad. Third account is a joint account between my dad and my mom. Fourth account is a joint account between my dad and my sister. So you can play mix and match. And that is something which will increase your insurance. 5 lakhs insurance will become 20 lakhs insurance now. Is this much clear to protect your money? What to do? Is this clear? Right? Clear in the chat section.
అట్లా అంత
Fantastic.
మామకి ఇచ్చేది వేసరికి
Fantastic, guys. Now somebody was asking, show me bonds. Bonds is the second option. Let us assume that this is a bond. And I'm investing in SBI bond, giving 10%. That is also second option. Some of you might be like, you know what, Sharan, I don't want to open account in my dad's name. I don't trust my dad. What if he doesn't return the money? This, that, you know. If that is the situation, I will show you something. This is my portfolio of bonds. Can everybody see my screen? Is my screen visible, guys? Yes. Does everybody know what a bond is? Should I explain what a bond is? Lot of people are saying explain. So bond is me giving a loan to a company. Let me repeat. If SBI wants a loan, they can ask money from the public. Let me repeat that. You can give an FD also to SBI Bank, but you can give a loan also to SBI Bank. Did you know that? Just like how you can give a fixed deposit to an SBI Bank, you can give a loan also to SBI Bank. This is called through bonds. SBI Bank issues bonds, and public like you and me can buy these bonds and give money to SBI Bank. Okay. Now this is how I invest in bond. Look at this, 10.11% return. Can you see this on my screen? 10.11% returns. Right, this is how I invest in bonds. So have you ever seen a fixed deposit giving you 10% returns? Have you ever seen any fixed deposit giving you 10% return? Riley Ramesh is asking, what if SBI Bank goes bankrupt? Do you think SBI Bank will ever go bankrupt? If SBI Bank goes bankrupt, we have no country left. We are Khatam, finished. If
మనం
SBI
పూర్తిగా
Bank goes
ప్రగతిని
bankrupt,
కూడా అనొద్దు.
right? So
ఎందుకంటే నిజంగా
exactly the point is
ప్రగతి
which
చేస్తున్న
company to
కూడా
give the bonds to,
ప్రజలు
which company should I
మాట్లాడడానికి
give the loan to.
ఎందుకంటే
That requires some risk assessment and that requires some learning, which I will not cover in today's masterclass. But if you are interested to learn more about it, I will tell you at the end of the masterclass how we can teach it. Right? So these are the two ways where I save a lot of taxes and money for my short-term goals. Like for example, I'm going to buy the iPhone 17. I'm going to go for an international vacation this year. My money is not sitting in fixed deposit. My money is sitting in these kind of investments where I save taxes when I sell it and I'm making more returns as well. Now, let us go to medium-term goals. Now, this is very, very important. Now, what is a medium-term goal? Can somebody give me examples of medium-term goals that you've written?
చెప్పుకోవాలి ఎవరి సలహా వాళ్ళని.
Shiksha is saying house. Jeff is saying house. Child education. Marriage.
ఓకే అనగా అయిపోతుంది.
Kid study. Upgraded car. Flat in Bangalore. Daughter's education.
ఇదే
Most of you all want cars only. What? So many people. Basketball court. Wow, that's a unique one. Farming. Alimony. Bungalow in Mumbai. Car. Okay. Now, this is what you guys are doing for medium-term goals. Anything which is less than 4 years, 5 years away, what are you guys doing? You will either invest in a fixed deposit, 5-year fixed deposit, or you will invest in a debt fund. I hope you guys know what a debt fund is. Debt fund is a mutual fund which is like a fixed deposit kind of a mutual fund where you get around 8% returns, 7 to 8% returns. Now again, both are taxed at the highest income slab 30% and you end up making 5.5% returns. Are you happy with these kind of returns? Write yes or no in the chat section. Are you happy with these sort of returns? No, absolutely no.
వాళ్ళు కూడా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ జాబ్
Somebody is like, how do we invest in debt fund? I'm telling you, don't invest in these funds.
కళ్ళు
Do you want me to tell you what I do?
గదే 10 లక్షలు ఇస్తే గదే 10 లక్షలు
I do this. Anything which is a medium-term goal. 40% will go in the stock market. 60% will go
తమిళ
into debt.
చేసుకుంటారు కానీ
Now, somebody tell me, is there a single investment option which combines both of this? Can somebody answer in the chat section?
వాళ్ళు ఫిక్స్ అయిపోయారు.
Is there an investment option which combines both of this? What is the name of that? Yeah, a lot of people are giving the right answer. Ishraq has given the right answer. The correct answer is hybrid fund. Have you guys heard of hybrid fund? Have you guys heard of the word hybrid? Not hybrid vehicle. Hybrid fund.
లేదు మామకు ఫిక్స్ అయిపోయాడు.
Hybrid is it combines stock market and
పెద్దమ్మలు చేసుకుంటారు.
debt funds together. Now there are multiple types of hybrid funds. Dikshit is saying there is balanced advantage funds, multi-asset funds. All of these options are there, but which one do I invest in? I will tell you. This is what I invest in. Can you see this name? Equity Savings Fund. Equity Savings Fund. Can you see this? Not to be confused with ELSS. This is not ELSS. This is Equity Savings Fund. Equity Savings Fund. Now these funds invest in both stock market and bonds and arbitrage. It's a multi-asset fund. It gives 9 to 11% return. Can you see this 12.5% tax? It is only taxed at 12.5%. Can somebody tell me why? Do you know why?
మంచోడకి మార్కులు వేసుకుందాం.
Exactly. It is taxed as per stocks.
కూడా చూసుకోవాలి.
How is stock market taxed? Exactly like this. So why will I invest in a fixed deposit when I have an equity savings fund which will give me 9 to 11% returns and is at 12.5% tax? Let me show you the benefit of this. For greater than 3 years, if I do the comparison, see this. If I'm investing, let's say 10 lakhs, I'm investing for 5 years. Not a senior citizen, 30% tax slab. Equity saver fund, 10 lakh, 10% interest, 10% returns. It becomes 15.5 lakh rupees. Compared to fixed deposit, it is 2.5 lakh rupees more money. If this was mind blowing to you guys, please write MB3 in the chat section. Please write MB3 in the chat section. This is the power of combining both investing and taxation together. I hope now you're able to appreciate why I'm talking about investing at the same time as taxation. Because if you don't think about that in together, then you will end up paying a lot of taxes. I hope this is now creating the frameworks in your head as to how to think about taxation. It is not just about salary tax optimization. It is also about financial goal planning and how taxes impact you there. Somebody is like, it is an assumption that you already have 10 or 20 lakhs. Guys, if you're buying a house, if you're buying a car, if you don't have that money, then don't buy the house and buy the car. Eventually, you need to have this kind of money when you're buying a house or buying a car. Or even when you're planning a wedding or when you're planning your kids' education. You need to have this kind of money. Otherwise, how are you going to plan for those expenses? Everything you won't get a loan. You need to save some money as well. Right, so this is the impact of investing in an equity saver fund. Right, let me just show you quickly. And there's opening one fund over here. You see this, how this fund performs, right? This is not a recommendation, guys. People ask me, what is this equity savings fund? I'm showing you. So this is the returns of equity savings fund. This is how it works. If I show you 5 years, yes, it does little bit up and down there, but because it's a 5-year goal, I'm okay with little bit up and down, right? Because this fund is giving me that sort of a return. Look at this. 1 year, 3 years, 11.3% return. 5 year, 11.79% return. Sorry, this one. 3 years, 14.21% return on an average. This is CAGR numbers. 5 years, 12.1% return. Is there any fixed deposit that will give you this much percent return? Yes or no? Is there any fixed deposit that will give you this kind of returns? No, absolutely not. No fixed deposit will give you this kind of returns. So you need to invest in hybrid funds where the tax is also less and returns are also more. Cool. Now let's come to long-term goals for your retirement, for your kids' education, for your kids' marriage. Now this is what you guys are doing. National pension scheme. How many of you are investing in NPS? Please write yes or no in the chat section. A lot of people are saying yes. Now we are going to tell you what is the disastrous effect of investing in NPS. And for that, CA Nitesh has created a beautiful calculation of what happens when you're investing in NPS. Somebody is saying yes for tax benefit. Nitesh is saying. Nitesh, do you want to take this up and tell us what happens, what exactly is NPS and why is it bad?
Right. So guys, first thing first, I don't recommend a single of my client to invest a single rupee in NPS. But I'm not just blindly saying that. I'll prove it to you in next 5 minutes why it is not worth and why we are not investing and why we are not recommending. So all of you who are actually investing or planning to invest, give me your undivided attention for next 5 minutes and I'll make sure that you at least get something to work upon on your NPS. Sorry guys, I have a bit of bad throat. So friend, first of all, like you rightly said, most of you people are investing in NPS because it gives you tax saving in the old regime as well as the new regime. So before I go to the NPS, what are the benefit of NPS? Let me tell you that I'm saying why you should not invest. Are you getting my point? First, I'm going to tell you what are the benefits in terms of tax saving of NPS, but still you should not be investing in that because our job is not to blindly tell you because it's saving tax, go invest in that. Because if you open a Google, if you see any media or if you see anything, 90% of the people is saying if you invest in NPS, you can save this much of taxes. But we are saying yes, you can save that much of taxes, but still it's not worth. Okay. Before that, so in old regime, you can invest up to 50,000 from your end into NPS, and on this 50,000 you don't need to pay tax because that is considered as your deduction. Also, if your employer has the NPS, okay, you can contribute 10% of your salary as NPS. If your employer has the NPS from your office, you can invest up to 10% of your basic salary into NPS, and again you don't need to pay any tax on this because it is allowed as a deduction under the old regime. Now, if you are opting for a new regime, still you can contribute up to 14% of your basic salary if your office has the NPS from your office only. Then up to 14% of your basic. How you are contributing to your EPF, the same way you can also contribute for your NPS from your office, and you don't need to pay tax on that. But you can't invest that 50,000 because there are two different sections to invest into NPS. In old regime, you can invest 50,000 on your own, okay, apart from your office. Also, if your office having that option, you can contribute 10%. That is about old regime. Now in new regime, only 14% of your contribution if your organization has the NPS, and you don't need to pay any tax. Are you getting my point? What are the benefit of NPS as a tax planning? Okay, but still, right now we are writing more than 70%. I can see you are investing into NPS some or other bit, but most of you guys, and I mean it when I say that most of you don't understand the whole structure of NPS. So for someone who don't know NPS, let me tell you, this is National Pension System. And as I told you, more people are going towards this because it has some kind of a taxation benefit and tax deduction in the new regime as well as old regime. Now, when you invest into NPS, first of all, whatever you are investing plus whatever return you get, the whole corpus is locked in till the age of 60. Can you withdraw the fund? Only up to 25% of your contribution after 3 years you can withdraw if there is a need. But hey Nitesh, where is this money invested? Guys, this money is not only invested into stocks but into 4 different asset classes: stocks, corporate bond, like Sharan was rightly telling you, corporate bond, government securities, and alternate asset class. Now, the main question, can you control it where your money is going? Yes and no both. Why? Because once you invest into NPS, you have to select, are you going for an active choice or an auto choice? In active choice, maximum amount you can invest into the equity side is 75%. So first of all, not your 100% of your money is going into the equity market when you invest into NPS. And if you don't know this, this is the first thing you should be knowing. Now, if you are going for auto choice, it's based on your age. Money is allocated to between this asset classes. So guys, when you invest into NPS, first thing you should know where your money is getting invested, because you want to invest for so long and you think that it is compounding, right? But your mistakes also compound. And that's why I'm telling you, you should know where your money is going, and ultimately how you're gonna get the exit from that money and how it is going to tax. So you understand there is an active choice in the NPS and also there is an auto choice. Now you have to see which you have opted for, because out of this you have to select these two things and also select which of the fund manager you are investing into. Now you realize it is locked in till 60. Which fund manager and what choice you are selecting, but not 100% of your money is getting into the equity. So the return you get would be lesser than the 100% allocated equity choice. Are you getting my point? Hello. When you are investing in NPS, now at least you know where which scheme is going and how you can select that choice, active choice or auto choice. Now, when you invest into the money, you get a tax benefit. But when you take out the money, only 60% of your corpus you can redeem tax free. Rest 40% money you have to invest into a insurance product called annuity. From that, every month you will receive some pension. So let's say your corpus is 1 crore at the age of 60. 60 lakh you can withdraw, and 40 lakh on that you have to pay tax. How it is taxed? Because once you invest that into a pension product and that pension product is taxed, not only that, the return on that product is just 4 to 5% currently. Now let me show you with an example that why it is a bad choice and why we are not putting money into NPS.
ఇప్పుడు
Okay, let's assume my age is
అతి పెద్ద
35.
నెంబరే 20 లక్షలు.
I want to retire at 60 or anyway, this is locked
ఇస్తారా అని
until 60.
వచ్చిర్రు,
Okay,
అయినా
just
ఇల్లేదు
2
అని
minutes of your
నేను
guys
కట్టిన
and you
టాపిక్
will
తీయలేదు.
get a crystal clear answer that why
రాజశేఖర్
we are
అట్లా
saying
అయినా
no for
బాధపడకుండా స్థాయి
NPS.
గ్రాండ్ గా
Okay,
చేసి
you can make your
నిరూపించుకున్నారు
choice,
రాజశేఖర్
but
కి.
I have a two choice that forget
అదే
about right
అంటే
now I
వాడి
want to
కట్నం గురించి
contribute
మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు.
10% or 40% in my office for NPS, but at least let's say 50,000 you are investing. So let me compare with that 50,000.
అట్లా అది
Let's say
మాట్లాడండి.
I am putting 50,000
సరే
every
ఇంకా
year into
స్థాయికి అయితే
NPS,
గ్రాండ్ గా
which means for next
అట్లా
25 years,
ఇట్లా
60
అదే
years
ఉందిగా.
minus
నువ్వెంత
35. So for
తీసుకుంటావు
next
విద్యార్థి?
25
అంతా
years, I
కట్టలేదు.
will invest
స్టార్ట్
12,50,000.
స్థాయికి ఎంత వస్తే అంత
Now,
5 లక్షలు
I'm
పెట్టుకోవాలి.
expecting I will get 10% return on that. And why I'm assuming 10%, guys? Because your 100% of what I have invested,
దీన్ని మార్కెట్
12,50,
అర్థమవుతలేదు.
is not going into whole of equity. It is going in the four asset class. And not only that, maximum I can select 75% equity. And also, with my age, that will keep coming down. So on an average, only 40 to 50% of your money will go towards equity, rest into other products. Okay? So still at 10%, it looks quite wonderful. I'm getting 54 lakh rupees at the age of 60. But friend, how the exit work? That's the exact thing you should know.
ఖచ్చితంగా ఇస్తాడు.
This
అది వీళ్ళకి
54 lakh
అర్థమవుతలేదు.
rupees, 60% of that, can I withdraw and do whatever I want to do without any tax? Yes, which is 32 lakh 45,000 out of 54 lakh, along with the investment amount and return what I have accumulated. I can redeem 60% of that and I can do whatever I
మామ ఒక
want.
మాట
But rest
మరి అందరు
40%,
కొత్తలో
I can't
స్థాయికి
withdraw.
ఏంటిది
That's the
అని
first thing you should
మాట్లాడుతున్నావు
know.
అని అంటే
That you have to
మామకు
invest
ధైర్యం లేదు.
into a kind of
చెడగొట్టే
a
ధైర్యం అయితే లేదు
pension
మొత్తానికి.
product, or it called
ఏ
annuity.
ప్రశ్న అడగలేడు.
From this investment
Facebook
amount, you will
చూపెట్టాలి
receive
లేదు.
pension
నీ
per
అకౌంట్
month.
లెక్క చూపెట్టాలి
And my
లేదు.
dear friends, that pension you receive per month is taxable.
తెలియదు.
So if you think that what you are investing is a complete tax-free thing, no.
స్థాయిని ఒక్క
40% of
క్వశ్చన్
the amount goes
అడగలేకపోతున్నాను.
into a pension product which
చదవ
earns just
పెద్ద
4 to 5% return,
మేము
not
చిన్న
even the
వాళ్ళు
FD
పెద్ద
return.
ఏం
And
లేదు,
not
ఏం
only
లేదు,
that,
ఏమో
still that is
పెద్ద
taxable.
మమ్మల్ని
So your post-tax
ఏం లేదు,
return
వాళ్ళు
goes
పెద్ద
even down.
కాకపోతే
Now,
ప్లాట్ఫామ్
what are the choice I have? I'm saying don't invest in NPS. Then what will happen? My client told me, hey Nitesh, if I'm not investing 50,000 into NPS, I have to pay tax on that because that is a deduction. I said, right. Okay. Then I gave him a choice that you pay that tax, because if I'm not investing, of course, I'll pay tax on that because that is not the deduction. So how much tax I will pay? Let's say 15,000 and something, because 30% plus cess you are paying as a taxes. So what is the choice? Either I invest 50,000 and take the tax benefit, or I pay the tax and only invest 34,400. So if I invest 34,400 till the age of 60, which means I'm only investing 8,60,000. But Sharan just showed that how we can achieve that 15% of return. So if I get that 15% CAGR return, the total amount I will get at the age of 60 is 84 lakh rupees, which is higher than 54 lakh rupees. Now, some of you are saying, hey Nitesh, on mutual fund we need to pay tax. I completely agree. Even after paying taxes, because my gain is only 74 lakh. Why? Out of 84 lakh rupees, 8,60,000 is my capital, which I have invested. So I don't need to pay any tax on that. So 84 lakh minus 8,60,000. On a balance amount, even after paying tax, how much money I have in my hand and I can do whatever with that I want to. That is 73 lakh 63,955 to be precise. Now you make a choice. 54 lakh rupees not in my hand, but 73 lakh 63,000 in my hand. However I want to do. This is just an example of 50,000. I have seen many people are investing 10 to 14% of their basic salary into NPS. Are you getting my point, guys? Is this an eye-opening? Yes or no? Just write eye-opening.
మనం మంచిగా ఉన్నాం అనుకో మంచిగా మాట్లాడుకో మంచిగా లేవనుకో మాట్లాడు.
Thank you, Ashita. Thank you, Mukesh.
ఇట్లా మాట్లాడుకుంటా
Thank you, Ashok.
అందరికన్నా మంచి
So friend, our job here is not to tell you just that how you can save taxes. If you are going towards some wrong direction, we should stop you that as well. We should stop you. Why? Because if you compound the mistakes, that's going to be a disaster. Are you liking it? How you are finding this? Is it worth which spending your weekend morning with us? Is it worth? we still have something mind-blowing in store for you. So stay tuned. But and even if you have any question regarding that, we have enough time after the session to take your questions. So
అయినా
stay put.
చుట్టాలు
Yes,
అనేటోళ్ళు
Sharan.
అబ్బాయి సైడ్ ఉన్న చుట్టాలు మెల్లగా డిసపియర్ అయిపోతారు అత్తమ్మ.
All right, guys.
అమ్మా
How was that session on
ఇప్పుడు
NPS?
మేమంటే
Please
ఇప్పుడు
give us an MB4 in the chat section if this was something that is mind blowing and something that you can start saving right away. Because it is not just about, okay, how much tax can I save in my salary? It is also about how to optimize your
ఇప్పుడు
investments,
మామ
right?
I think we are on the right direction. People are already asking how to exit NPS. This is what we are here for. See, we will not blindly ask you to do. We are proving with an example, with the whole story, that why we are saying no. It's not that we say do this, do that. You are intelligent people. What you should not be doing and why you should not be doing. This is the truth. So stay tuned.
నలుగురు
And
మాట్లాడతారు
we gonna tell you that why you should not be paying or how you can make a zero tax on your
చచ్చిపోయినా
investments.
కూడా
Okay.
ఇంకా ఉన్నారు కదా
Let's move ahead.
వందలు వీళ్ళేం
So,
మాట్లాడతారు
guys, second thing is, a lot of people think that I should put 100% of my money in stock market, especially if I'm saving for retirement.
అందరికి
How many of you all are doing that?
నేను
Putting
మంచి
all
బాయిల
your money in
వాడు
the stock market, or putting more
నేను
than
మంచి
90%
బాయిల
of my
వాడు
money in
ఆ
stock
బాయిల
market?
వాడకు అనే
How many of you all are doing that?
అంటే చెప్తే కంట అవుతాం.
Please write me in the chat section.
కాదు ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా ఇంట్లో
Yeah,
ఇప్పుడు నా
I'm
తర్వాత
seeing a lot of people
మాట్లాడతాడు.
saying me, and I will show you the problem with doing
మాట
that.
పడ్డా పడతాడు.
I'm going to show you an example of investor A versus investor B. And stay with me, guys. This is going to really, really blow your mind as when you see the final result. And I'm sure this is something that you did not expect. Investor A is putting 100% in the stock market. Investor B is putting 65% in stock market, 20% in bonds, 15% in gold. Now, in the last 10 years, this is the returns that has been given by stock market, bonds, and gold.
మాకు ఈ సమస్య
Okay.
అని చెప్తే ఖచ్చితంగా
12, 6.2, and 13.5.
ఎట్లయితే
Now look at this. Investor A is the pink line. Investor B is the golden line.
సాయి ఒక మాట అన్నాడు కొన్ని చిన్న
See the difference in their returns.
చెల్లెందుకు
Do you see a big
ఒక
difference?
మాట ఎత్తున్నా
How much of a difference do you see? You're right. What is
ఇంత
the
ప్రేమ
difference?
కొట్టేసుకుంటారు ఇప్పుడు అజయ్ కూడా మాట్లాడతారు అక్కడ ఉంటుంది అది కూడా ఉంటుంది
Investor A and Investor B are both sitting at 2.25 crores. You see this? Is there a difference here? How much of that difference is there? This gap.
ఇలా వచ్చి ఏమంటారు
Is that significant or not? Yes or no? Nothing. Barely any difference.
అవునా కదా
Right?
ఎంత
Absolutely zero difference.
ఇచ్చినా కానీ
Yes, little bit difference is there. 5-10 lakhs. Now you might be thinking, correct, investor A was the better investor. Is that right? Who do you think was the better investor? A or B?
ఎట్లుంటది
ఇట్లయితే అనాథైనట్టే కదా.
ఇప్పుడు అట్లనే చేస్తారు చూడు వాళ్ళు
Let's see.
అందుకే ఎవరు మాట్లాడతలేరు
Now this is something called drawdown. Ignore this. Just focus on this. Investor A is pink.
ఇప్పుడు
Investor B is yellow.
పెద్దమ్మ
What is drawdown? Drawdown is the maximum drop in the value of your investment from the highest point. Let me repeat. Let us say you invested 1 lakh rupees. 5 years later, this 1 lakh rupees has become 5 lakhs. And it is 100% in the stock market. Now all of a sudden, there is COVID and 5 lakhs has become 3 lakhs. What is drawdown? 5 lakhs has dropped to 3 lakhs. So that's a 40% drop in the value of your investment. That is called drawdown. And that is exactly what happened during COVID. This is COVID time. Investor A has lost 25% of his money in 1 year. Whereas investor B has only dropped 15% of his money. And throughout the different years, you will see that consistently that investor B is having half the drawdown of investor A. Now you tell me, for your mental health, which is better? Investor A or investor B? Which is better? Right? So the moral of the story is, don't just chase after high returns. You need to chase after risk-adjusted returns. It is not necessary to take full risk to get high returns. You need to manage your portfolio by investing in multiple assets. Only then you will have a peace of mind. Right? So what should you be doing? This is what 1% Club members do, or this is what I personally do as well. I invest in a combination of different assets. 50% is in stock market. You guys can take a screenshot here, guys. This is an important slide which shows you exactly what I do with my own portfolio. 50% in stock market, 10% in the US market, 20% in FD, bonds, 5% in gold, 5% in crypto, and 10% in real estate. Did you guys take a screenshot of this?
పెద్దమ్మ ఏమని చెప్తుంది?
Give me yes or no if you've done this.
రాజశేఖర్ గారు
Now, how do we actually execute and implement this? Because you might be like, Sharan, I can't do all of this by myself, right? Is there a method or is there a process or is there a system that I can follow to manage my portfolio like a professional fund manager, right? And that is what we do in the 1% Club, right? Do you want me to show you quickly what this is? If you're not interested, I will not show you. But if you're interested to go a little deeper, it will take me 1 minute to show you how I manage my portfolio behind the scenes. Are you interested or not? Give me yes or no in the chat section, and in 2 minutes I'll show you what I do. Fantastic. You guys are all like excited to learn. I really like that. I really like people who are hungry to learn more, because that is very missing in the society today. Everybody wants quick solutions, but nothing is easy. There's nothing quick that happens. It takes effort and time. So this is one of the tools that we have in the 1% Club called the Master Financial Planner tool. This is the tool that we have. Let me just quickly show you what it is. How it works is that first you input your salary, you put your monthly expenses, and then it obviously subtraction of that, you know how much you can save every month. Then you put down all your financial goals. Remember, we listed down all your goals: emergency fund, buying a house, buying a car, vacations, retirement, higher education for my son. So once you fill up that information, this tool will tell you what is the SIP amount required for each of these goals. Then you will go to your investments in your house, your stock market investments, your mutual fund investments, right? Your US market, your FD, your savings account investments. You put all of that in this, everything you put. And then finally, this tool will tell you what is your current asset allocation and what is your required asset allocation. So this is something that I do once every 3 months. I sit with my financial planner once every 3 months, and both of us decide that, hey, this has gone up, this has come down. Let us readjust the portfolio and ensure that the risk of that portfolio is optimally managed. Not just that, every year my goals will change. Let's say suddenly I get married, suddenly I have kids. Now the goals will change, it will evolve, right? So life also keeps changing. As per how your life is changing, you need to change your goals, and as per that your investments will change. Is this something that you guys are interested to learn to manage your own finances? Please write yes or no in the chat section if this is something that you're interested to learn. And towards the end I will tell you exactly how we can help you do this. Fantastic. Awesome. Now let's get to how you can save taxes even when you are making a loss. So Nitesh, please tell us what are the loopholes or what are the hacks that are there which I can use to save taxes in my portfolio even when I'm not making profits.
Agreed. So first of all, I would like to know, friends, from you all who are still sticking to Sharan, more than 98% people are still sticking to. So I think it's worth, and people are hungry for more, and I'm really loving this. How many of you have some kind of a red in a portfolio? Thoda red, kabhi khushi kabhi gum. Some red in a portfolio. Even I have some red in portfolio. That's completely fine. Sharan, what about you?
I have one mutual fund which is in red.
Okay. Now, let me tell you how you're gonna love that red color a bit more from now onwards and why. Okay. So, guys, this is the actual scenario of one of my client. Okay. When at this juncture, when gold is like mind blowing, 1 lakh rupees approx, and we have invested quite a long back. Let's say 3 lakh I have invested in a gold. Right now it is 6 lakh rupees. You can see that in gold because now it's more than 2 years which I have already invested into. On this 3 lakh rupees of gain, I have invested 3 lakh rupees. Now it has turned to 6 lakh. When I want to exit on this 3 lakh rupees, I have to pay 12.5% tax. You all know that. Okay, and if you don't know, this is the truth. You need to pay 12.5% of taxes. Now I asked my same client, hey, show me your portfolio. Is there a stock or a mutual fund which is a long term but looking like a rat, which is loss? Okay. And we saw that around 2,50,000 rupees of a loss in a portfolio. What we asked,
వాడు ఏది కరెక్ట్
okay,
చేస్తాను
that sell this. And he's like, hey Nitesh, this is for a long term, I want to stay invested, this is good stock, this is a temporary down. I said, I understand that. But let me tell you that you need to minimize your tax liability with this hack in a tax planning. And so this is the fact, 3 lakh rupees of a gain, and when we open the stock portfolio, there is a 2,50,000 of a temporary loss. And how we took this opportunity. Can we go to the next lecture?
కాబట్టి నేను తక్కువ అన్నాను.
So guys, I'm selling gold worth 6 lakh now, which I have invested 3 lakh rupees 3 years back. That is 3 lakh rupees of a gain.
అది
And you all understand that on this 3 lakh, I need to pay 12.5% of tax. But what I will do, I will sell that stocks or a mutual fund which are making loss.
మామ
And
భయం
this
పెడదామంటే
is
అతను
not to
భయపడకుండా
get rid of that stocks. I'm just saying this is
దీనికి
just for the
భయపడకుండా
tax planning. So what I will do,
అది తప్పు
I will sell that
నువ్వు
stocks or a mutual fund which are temporary in losses,
అంటే భయపడాలి
and I'll reacquire that after 2
అట్లేదు ఏం లేదు
years.
మనకు మస్తు
So
ఆస్తుంది
for the
ఓడి
income tax
భయపడకనేసరికి వాడు
purpose,
ఎదురు
I
తిరిగి
sold
start
that
చేసి
stocks,
ఒక
which is
అమ్మ గుండెవాడికి
2,50,000
చెప్పి
of
అత్తమ్మ
loss
ఎదురు
booking.
తిరిగినాడు గుండెవాడికి.
So 3 lakh minus 2,50,000.
బాగా
Now I don't need to pay tax on 3 lakh. I just need to pay tax on 50,000. And how much tax I will pay? 12.5%,
అది
which is
ప్రమాదం.
6,500. How much tax,
భార్య
friends,
భర్త
I have saved?
సమానం
31,500. This is as simple. But let me tell you an honest confession. Many of my CA friends are not aware of it. Why? Because many people think I can adjust mutual fund with mutual fund, stocks with stocks, loss and profit of stocks and mutual fund I can adjust. But this is what you should be knowing. The cross asset class adjustment is also possible. So if you have a loss in a gold, you can adjust against equity. If you have a profit in a gold, you can adjust against this. So friends, when you are reallocating from one asset class to another asset class, if you have some loss, that can also help you save taxes. Are you getting my point? Hello. This is as simple, but the execution is key. You need to think through that how you want to make best use of this. Okay, Mayur is already writing mind blowing.
మాకు ఆల్రెడీ
Your
ఉన్న సమస్యలు ఉన్నాయి
gain of gold, I am offsetting with a
కాకపోతే
loss in a mutual fund or a stocks. And you know that if you're going to invest for next 10, 15, 20 years, there will be an n number of scenario that some or other things would be in losses. But every year, something of this planning you do, and you can save a hell lot of taxes.
ఇప్పుడు పెద్దమ్మ అంటే
Of
సహజం
course, we are not here just for a loss, Sharan.
చిన్న
What if I have a
అట్లా
profit?
మన తాగిన
And
అట్లన్నప్పుడు
can I show you that even in your profit,
అది నాకు బాధ
you
అనిపించింది
can pay zero tax? And most likely,
వాడు
you
నాతో
see that, guys?
కావచ్చు కానీ
you got to know that how you can help, how the portfolio
That is
loss can
okay.
help you save taxes. Are you clear with that?
మాకు
Okay, people are loving that,
నేను
Sharan.
చేస్తలేను.
Thanks, Abhay.
నాకు
Thanks,
బాధ
Dilip.
ఉంది నాకు.
Thanks, Rajni.
మేమేం పెడతలేము
Okay.
ఇంకో బాధ
Shashank, can we go to the next slide?
మేమేం పెడతలేము వాళ్ళకి
Only things, dear friend, when you are adjusting
అంటే
your losses and
మేము
profit,
only
you just need to
crystal card,
remember
ఉంగరం
that your
ఇవే
short-term
పెడుతున్నాం.
capital loss can be set
వాళ్ళు
off
అన్ని
only
వాళ్ళు
against
చెప్తున్నారు కదా.
short-term,
మేము డిన్నర్
can be
చేయాలి
set off short-term and long-term
చేయాలా
both.
వద్దా
But
అని
when you have a
కనుక్కుంటాము.
long-term loss, it can only set off
చెయ్యమని
against
నిర్ణయించుకున్నాం,
long-term capital
చేయాలని
gain. You
కూడా
can just take a
ఆలోచిస్తున్నాం.
screenshot of that and you
అయితే
can read more about that.
మాకు
But this is the only thing
వాళ్ళ
you need to
డాక్టర్
remember.
చెప్పింది ప్రాజెక్ట్
Otherwise,
చెప్పింది
any
అక్కడ
cross
ముగ్గురు
asset
ఎమ్మెల్యేలు
adjust
వస్తున్నారు
class
పెళ్ళికి.
adjustment you can do,
వాళ్ళు మరీ
be
అంత
it
గ్రాండ్
equity,
మనం ఇంట్లో
gold,
పని చేయకపోతే
anything.
బాగుండదు
Okay, even your real estate, by the way, guys. Yes.
కానీ గొప్పకు పోయి
Okay,
అప్పులు
thank you, Abhay.
తిప్పలు
Abhay,
పడతారు.
thanks.
వాళ్ళు ఇట్లా
Okay, can you go to the next slide?
మన
Sharan?
స్థాయి అది
Yes.
కాదు కదా
Now, many
మేము
people,
పిల్లలు
many of
ఉన్నప్పుడు
you
మేము
would be
కూడా
wondering,
చేస్తున్నాం.
what if I don't
పిల్లలు
have a loss
ఉన్నప్పుడు
on this?
అంతా
Can we
ఆ,
still
పాపం.
minimize the tax liability, or in
Right.
certain cases, can we pay a zero tax? Okay, that one
ఇక్కడ
of
మాకు
you
ఎక్కడ
must be
సమస్య
wondering, and let
వచ్చిందంటే
me tell you how
మంద
this is
మంద
actually
అత్తమ్మ.
possible. Another 2 minutes
వాడు
of yours,
కళ్ళు
guys,
కళ్ళగా అందరూ
and
బలవంతం
each one of you
కలగాలి.
sitting in this
ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళది ఎట్లుందంటే
masterclass
వీళ్ళందరూ 100
going
సూపర్
to
టార్గెట్
save
ఉంది.
this tax from this
కళ్ళు
year
పెట్టొద్దు.
onwards,
నేను
and
కళ్ళు
that's my
పెట్టొద్దు,
promise.
రైస్ టార్గెట్ అయితే ఏం
Are you up
పెట్టొద్దు.
for
అదే
this?
పెట్టాలి. అది 2,000
Can I tell you how you can all? I'm saying each one of you, because I believe you are investing in a mutual fund or stocks, but I'm saying each one of you will save at least this tax. Forget about all the things which I told you till now, but this tax. Okay, next 2 minutes of yours, and all will start saving 15,625 minimum in tax. Let me give you an example. I have two clients, Ajay and Dhaval. Ajay is not my client, by the way.
నిర్ణయించుకోలేదు
He has invested 5 lakh rupees,
నిర్ణయించుకోలేదు
and after 4 years, that 5 lakh has turned 10 lakh. Very good growth, right? You know all the COVID gain, some of you were saying. Now, once you have invested 5 lakh rupees in a stocks or a mutual fund, turning 10 lakh rupees on the 5 lakh rupees, on first 1,25,000 of gain, you don't need to pay any tax. So, how much Ajay will pay in tax is 46,875. Invested 5 lakh rupees, became 10 lakh rupees after 4 years. On that gain, he has to pay 46,875 tax. But Dhaval is smart like you, attended some of our masterclass, and he has planned it better. And on the same mutual fund, on the same gain, Dhaval paid 0 tax. And how this is possible? Let me explain with an
బట్టలకు 2
example.
లక్షలు అవుతుంది
You understand that the growth is not like 5 lakh will directly become 10 lakh in next 1 or next 2 years, right? It will be a journey. And how the journey look like?
బట్టలకు
Let me
దగ్గర
explain.
లక్షన్నర
5 lakh is turning in the after a first year, after a
program.
12 month,
Resort
let's say 5 lakh of mutual fund or your stocks
program.
has become 6,25,000.
తెలుసాగమి
Now,
వద్దంటే
what
వాళ్ళు
I'm saying, Dhaval, sell this mutual fund. Again, Dhaval is like, hey, this is for long term. We have discussed, but this is a temporary gain. I don't want to come out of this. I said, we are not asking you to. We will buy the exact same stocks or a mutual fund, but just sell this for a tax planning. And he did that. So 5 lakh rupees of mutual fund, I sold it. I got 6,25,000 after a 12 months, okay, which is long-term capital gain. Now, friends, every year up to 1,25,000 per pen of long-term capital gain, you pay 0 tax. So, how much tax Dhaval will pay in first year? 0. Why? 6,25,000 minus 5 lakh, which is 1,25,000 exempt.
ఇల్లుకి రన్ చేసుకోవాలి
We again bought back the same mutual fund. Market price tend to be in the same zone. So
Transport.
5 lakh becomes 6,25,000. We sold. We bought it back. How much we bought it for? 6,25,000. So for you and me, we know that our actual cost is 5 lakh. But for income tax, now my new cost is 6,25,000. Hypothetically, assume that after 24 months, which is from initially I started another 12 months, it is 7,50,000.
కార్ వస్తే
There is a market growth, and because of return, now that value of 6,25,000 is 7,50,000. 7,50,000 minus 6,25,000, 1,25,000 again. I will pay 0 tax. Again, I will buy it back. You can see that. 8,75,000 in the third year. My new price is 7.5 lakh rupees because every year I can do the same adjustment of 1,25,000. Last year, the same mutual fund like Ajay has to be in the same line. 10 lakh rupees is the value, but my purchase price for the income tax is 8,75,000. Why? Because I'm doing this adjustment year on year after every 12 months, and the tax paid on the fourth year is 0. Friends, we are not just telling you will pay 0 tax, we are demonstrating that. So you all can do that. Is this making sense? So how much tax I'm saving every month, every year? 15,625. Am I saying that you just need to do it for tax saving? No, but you know that sometimes some of your mutual funds are not doing good. Sometimes you want to come out from small cap and want to invest in a large cap. Sometimes you want to sell your gold and come to let's say equity. So when you are reallocating your portfolio, you have to reallocate in this fashion that you book 1,25,000 of book at least. Even if you are not, don't need to do any kind of adjustment, still do this adjustment. Because after 10 years, when you come out of a mutual fund, either your tax liability would be 0 or bare minimum. Why? Because every year you are booking this 1,25,000 of gain. Does this make sense, guys? And by the way, we are the first one in India to write about that in 2018. So this is our original concept, which we introduced, capital gain harvesting.
కళ్యాణులు
Hello,
వాళ్ళ బిడ్డను
can you all do that from this year onwards? And can you all save 15,625? How much return you are getting on this masterclass which you have invested for? How much you paid? 99?
నేను నమ్ముతలేను
You all are gonna save this, right? Amazing.
నిర్ణయించుకుంటారు
But let me tell you, I am not satisfied yet.
నేను చేసుకోవాలి
Don't just save 15,625. Save more than 60,000. Do you all want to know that?
రెండోది ఇప్పుడు సాయం
Tax
చేసుకుంటా
saving on steroid.
అని అంటుంది అంటే కూడా
Don't
నేను
just save
అంతలేను. అది కూడా వాళ్ళ అమ్మ నాయన
15,625.
నిర్ణయం నేను
Save
అనుకుంటాను.
60,000 and more. Do you
వాళ్ళ
all want
ఇద్దరు
to know that?
మాట్లాడినిచ్చినాడే లెక్క.
అది
Yes, Abhay is saying just one click you can save 15,625. Yes, you just need to click a button, think through it, and you are saving this. Okay, Sharan, people wants to know how we can save even more than
మన
this.
మధ్యలో ఉండాలన్నా ఆ పిల్ల
Bring
కూడా
it on.
పైన వాళ్ళ నాన్న
Okay.
ఓకే ఇస్తుంది
So,
కదా.
Ramesh knew this trick because he attended this session. Now, he invested 10 lakh rupees each from his own
నాకు
account.
అట్లా అనిపించలేదు
He
అసలు.
invested 40 lakh rupees. Next year, after 12 months, 40 lakh has
పిల్లలకి
become
మంచిగా
45 lakh
అర్థం
rupees. So what he did,
కానీ
he booked
నేను
the
అప్లో
proportionate
పాలైనప్పుడు కొంచెం
gain of
తీసేసుకొని
1,25,000. He
గమనిస్తున్నాను.
saved
నాకు తెలియదు. చాలా
15,625
మంది మాకు
because he understood the
మస్తు
concept
మంది
of
అట్నే
profit
ప్రవర్తిస్తారు.
harvesting.
దానిలో పేరు
But what I
పెట్టి-
told
పేరు
Ramesh,
పెట్టి
hey Ramesh,
వాళ్ళందరూ
don't just
వారపుర
invest
కొట్టడం.
all the 40 lakh from your
అనంత
account.
అప్పేసి
You invest
మాట్లాడడం.
from your wife,
మా అమ్మ
you
అంటే
invest
తెలియదు
from your parents. Now you have a 4 accounts, 10 lakh rupees each. The 10 lakh rupees each, the same mutual fund. Because 40 become 5 lakh. What he has invested into. In this case, Ramesh, Priya and parents invested 10 lakh rupees each instead of 40 lakh from one account.
ఎప్పుడైతే మేము
In
మొత్తం
all
లాస్
four,
అయినామో
can I
అప్పుడు
do the profit
మమ్మల్ని
harvesting?
ఏం అంత చూడలేదు.
Because what I told you,
చూడకపోతే
every year,
గౌరవం ఇచ్చి మాట్లాడలేదు.
long-term capital gain
ఎంతే
up to 1,25,000 per pen is exempt.
ఇక్కడ
So,
సెక్యూరిటీ
how much capital gain I have now?
ఈ మాట లేదు.
1,25,000 into 4 accounts, which is 5 lakh rupees.
నిలబెట్టకపోయినా పర్వాలేదు
Have I
కానీ
need to pay on any tax on this because it's a
అప్పు
different pen?
గుర్తించే సలహా లేవు.
Nothing. So what I can do in
మళ్ళా
a
మమ్మల్ని
Ramesh, can I do in
రారపొరగొట్టుడు.
all the family members?
వాళ్ళని ఎంత చదివించాలి,
That's
వాళ్ళని
dear
పనులు
friend,
పెట్టాలి.
tax saving of 60 to 500 rupees in taxes.
డాడీ ఒక డాడీ
If you are not mind blown yet,
బాబు
there is some
ధైర్యమే
issue.
బాబు నిర్ణయమే. బాబే గ్రేట్.
Guys,
నాకు తర్వాత
Sharan, where
నాకు
MB6,
లోగా అర్థమైంది
MB7, where
ఏంటంటే
we are?
తాతకున్న అందరు అల్లులలో బాబే గ్రేట్.
We are in MB6.
Mind blown.
ధ్యాన్
MB6.
సూర్య
guys.
చెప్పాలంటే తాత బాబే
If you
great,
like
బాబే
it and if
ఉత్తమం.
you can do that,
బాబు
write
ఎన్నో
in the
నెగిటివ్స్
chat
ఉండొచ్చు కానీ వీళ్ళకున్న
MB6.
నెగిటివ్స్ తోని మా బాబు ఎన్నడు
We are saying
వీళ్ళు ఇప్పటికీ
MB6,
పోలేదు.
mind
భార్యను
blown
వదిలేదు.
6. Mind boggling. Wow, Naveen,
ఇట్లా
thank you,
చెప్పుకుంటే
Ramesh. Thank you,
అస్సలు
Anand.
ప్రవర్తించలేదు.
And guys, this is
మాకు
something that
మంచిగా చెప్పింది.
everybody can do, right? It's not something that is
ఒక్క
complicated. It's
మాట
just buying
తప్పు
and
చెప్పలేదు
selling.
తెలుసా?
And if you
ఒక్క
do want to do
మాట
it, if you are hired a
చుట్టాల
CA,
గురించి
then
తప్పు
please
చెప్పలేదు.
tell the CA to
వాళ్ళందరూ
do
వాళ్ళే
it, right?
తెలుసుకుంటారు.
Because
వాళ్ళ
most chartered
అన్నోళ్ళకి
accountants will not do this
ఇప్పుడు
because
నేను
you are usually
ఎవరి
going to them at the end of the financial
నేను
year,
ఎక్కువ
right?
తినను
So
ఇక్కడ.
they also
ఇక్కడనే
can't do
కాదు,
it for
ఏ
you
మామూలు ఇంటికాడ
unless they
తినను.
work for you the whole year.
నేను
So this
వెళ్ళిపోవాల్సిన
is
టైం
something that
రాగానే
I
వెళ్ళిపోవడం
advise every
కాదు
single
మా అమ్మ
person to
అంటది
do.
వాళ్ళ మీద వెళ్ళి
And a lot of people
మా
ask,
నాన్న
what about
ఇవన్నీ
exit
ఉంటాయి
load?
అన్నమాట ఎప్పటికీ.
Uh,
మేము హైదరాబాద్
most mutual funds do not have an exit load after 1 year of investing, which is what
ఉండలేక
we are saying.
ఇంటికి వచ్చేసి
Do not sell your
అప్పుడు
mutual
కొంచెం
funds
పైసలు
or
వేస్తాను.
stocks before 1
తర్వాత
year.
షరతుకున్న
That
కావాలి
is not the hack. If you do it before
ఇంత
1 year, then you're
కష్టపడితే
losing
ఇంటికి
money
పోతాం.
because you have to pay
అయినా
higher
కూడా
tax
ప్రతి వారం ఇంటికి
and
పోతాం.
exit load.
మస్తు ఖర్చు
Wait
అవుతుంది
for
దానికి.
12 months
ప్రతి
and
వారం
then do it.
ఖర్చు ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందని ట్రైనింగ్
And some people ask, what if the investments go down because mutual funds don't go up in
మమ్మల్ని
a
మా
straight
ఆర్థిక
line?
పరిస్థితి అది
That is when
దారుణమైంది.
you do loss harvesting.
ఇప్పుడు ఏదో
So that is why we
నేను
taught you
ఆర్థిక
both.
ఇట్లా ఈ
When
స్థాయికి
the
వెళ్ళి
mutual
కదా,
funds
అదంతా
or stocks
పత్తి
are going down,
అంతే.
do loss
కట్టుకొనే
harvesting. When it is
చదువుకోవడం
going up,
కట్టుకొని
do
కష్టపడడం
profit
కట్టుకొని
harvesting. So
బాగుపడదు.
you are saving tax on both sides. I hope that makes sense now to all the people who had doubts.
And Sharan, the loss you are booking, you can carry
ఇప్పుడు మేము
forward for
వద్దనగానే
8 years.
మామని
So
Yes.
future
మందలు
profit you can
ఎక్కువ
adjust
నా-
against
నా
that. So in
వాయిస్
any way,
పిలవాలంటే
you can
profit.
save tax, but you should be
ఇదేంటే
doing it.
మొన్న
Execution is the
రీసెంట్ గా
key,
వచ్చినట్టు
Sharan.
కూడా 4 సార్లు మంది
Absolutely.
నేను
So
ప్రశ్న
when it is
కూడా
not, when
మాట్లాడాను.
you're losing money,
పెళ్లిలో కూడా అంతే.
loss harvesting.
ఆయన
When you're
ఆయన
making
అరే
money,
అది
profit
ఇది
harvesting.
అని
So you don't want to
ఆయన
pay
చెప్తాడు.
taxes
ఆయన
both
చెప్తూనే
sides.
ఉంటాడు. కానీ నేను
That is the
చెప్పినట్టే
learning.
పోతాడు.
I hope that now makes sense
అంత
to you
తేడా
guys.
ఉంది ఆయన దగ్గర. ఆయన దగ్గరనే అంత లోపం ఉంది గుణంలో.
Does that
మేము
make
వద్దనే
sense?
అవకాశం
Amazing.
ఉండదా? అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా చేసుకోవాలి మేము
Awesome. Now there is
Back
one last thing that we want to teach you guys, which is how to generate 3 times
మేము తినోళ్ళ
returns.
పంచులు చేసుకుంటాం
in your
చేసుకుంటాం అని
portfolio.
చెప్పి సడన్ గా
Now
చేసుకున్నాం.
I want to go back to investor
ఎప్పుడు
A,
అడిగినా
B.
మేము main
Now
one
there is
చేసుకోవాలి.
investor C. Investor A has 100% in stock market. Investor B has 65% stock market, 25% debt, 15% gold. Investor C has 60% stock market, 20% debt, 15% gold, and 5% in Bitcoin.
వచ్చినాడు కింద నేను కింద
Okay, just 5% in Bitcoin. Now these are the returns that each of these assets have given. We already saw these 3. Bitcoin is that last asset class which has given 82% returns every year. Okay. Now how much
ఈ
would you
పిల్లలు
think is the difference
ఎందుకు
between
చెప్పినట్టు ఎవరు
investor
వింటలేరు.
C and
వాళ్ళ మైండ్
A?
కూడా వాళ్ళకి
How much do
అర్థమవుతుంది.
you think is the
ఎవరు
difference?
వేసుకోవాలి నరేష్
Please
అయితే
ask,
నెక్స్ట్
answer in the chat section.
మనిషి
What do you think is the
నీ
difference
గురించి
between
చెప్తున్నావు.
investor C and
చిన్నట్టు
investor
నువ్వు
A?
ఆయన గురించి చెప్తావు.
Let us see.
నేను ఇదే చెప్తా
15%, 20%, 25%,
మనిషి అట్లా
100%,
అంటాడు నువ్వు అట్లా అంటున్నావు.
41%,
వేసుకొని మీ హరీష్
50%.
మోస్ట్లీ హట్ అయిన
Let me just
విషయం
show you.
అంటే వైశ్య ఫంక్షన్ అప్పుడు ఆ మాట
Boom.
ఒకటే.
మీ
Look at
అందరం
that.
అక్కవాలంటే
Just look at
ఆయన
that.
అట్లా అంటే ఏం కాదు అని
Can you, do you want to change your answer now
No,
and
no,
write
no.
the answer that you think?
పిల్లలు
What is the
కూడా
answer now?
నేర్చుకుంటాడు.
300%. That's
Baba,
exactly
నేను
correct. Madhukumar
అడిగినప్పుడు
Venkatesar.
నేను వెళ్దామని అనుకున్నాను కానీ ఇక
300%. Just by putting 5% of their money,
అందుకే
they have made 300% more money.
మేము కూడా
Can
అనుకుంటాం.
you imagine that?
అనుకొని పోయినాం కదా.
These two guys,
Ama-
investor A and
Ama
investor
raru.
B, are
Nam-
still stuck on
అసలు సువర్ణ
2.25 crores.
ఇష్టం లేనట్టే
Investor C,
మాట్లాడారు.
by just putting
మా
5% of their
అందరితో
money in
మా అమ్మతో అయితే
Bitcoin,
మంచిగా
is
ఉండేది.
sitting on
మా
how much?
అమ్మకేమో చెప్తుంటే
6.8
అవునా
CR.
ఆయనకి కోపం వచ్చినట్టు
6.8
మాట్లాడుతుంటే మా అమ్మకి
CR
అర్థమవుతలేదు.
is the
ముచ్చట
money
పెంచుతుంది.
that they are
కాలు
sitting on.
కట్ అయినాక ఆయన
Now you might be thinking,
ముచ్చట
what
పెంచుకుంటే
if,
కాళ్ళు
you know, cryptocurrencies are risky?
నెంబర్
Right?
మైండ్
What if I
మా
lose my money?
తమ్ముళ్ళు అందరం అదే
I
చెప్తారు.
want to show you
ఆయన
the
కట్ చేద్దామని
worst case scenario
ఇంకా
of
వాళ్ళు
what will
ఆరాన్ని
happen.
తెలిసాలని వినలేదు.
Let us assume that Bitcoin
నేను
goes to
ఇద్దాం
zero.
అనుకుంటే పిలిచి బాధ
Bitcoin has gone to zero. Will it ever happen? Never. Why? Because the US government is itself investing in Bitcoins. Number two, in the US, there are mutual funds which are investing in Bitcoins. Right? So, whether the Indian government likes Bitcoin or not doesn't matter, because from a global level, Bitcoin is still considered as a respected asset class, where the US government is investing in Bitcoin. Secondly, it is also legal to invest in Bitcoins in India, and I will show you exactly how I invest in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies myself. But let us assume that my entire Bitcoin goes to zero. Look at the difference. Between A and C is 18.6 lakhs, between B and C it's 11.3 lakhs. That's it. So you tell me, if I have the potential to make an additional 4 crores, am I not willing to risk 10 lakh rupees in the worst case scenario? Please give me yes or no in the chat section. If I have the potential to make an additional 4 crore rupees, am I not willing to risk 10 lakhs of money?
చేస్తే సీఏ ఐదేళ్ళు కదా.
Yes, absolutely. That is risk reward ratio. Now you might be asking, how are you investing, Sharon? Let me just quickly show you. I invest in all of these cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. You might have heard only of Bitcoin, but I invest in other cryptocurrencies as well. Let me just show you.
ఇది కాపేస్తా అంటే ఆడితే ఇక చదువుకొని జాబ్ చేస్తుంటే
So this is my own crypto portfolio, guys. A 22 lakh investment over here. Ignore this. This is not correct. This is not correct. Just a 22 lakh investment. I made this 3 years back. It is now it's sitting on 72 lakh rupees. This is the power of investing in cryptocurrency, and I have not invested a lot. 22 lakh is a very small percent of my portfolio. But if I can get 3x returns in 2 years, why not? Right? And it is not just one cryptocurrency, there are multiple cryptocurrencies. Right? So that is the power of diversifying your investment. This is called the barbell investing strategy, where a small percent of your portfolio is in a very risky asset, but that risky asset gives you so much returns that it makes it worth the risk. Right? So this is how I generate 3x returns on my portfolio, just by risking a small percent of my portfolio. Cool, guys. Was that mind-blowing, guys? Please write MB7 in the chat section if that was mind-blowing to you guys, just to see what little bit of investing hacks can do to your investments. What has been your favorite learning so far? Please write what is your favorite learning so far in the chat section. NPS, how to invest in crypto, the 3x one, loss harvesting, profit harvesting, how to allocate everything, financial goal-based planning, all of it, everything was valuable. Allocation, amazing.
చిన్నబిడ్డ 29 years.
Was it worth the session, guys? Was it worth your 99 rupees and 2 hours of your time?
నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ చేస్తారు 30 పడ్డానికి. చదువుకున్న కుటుంబాలు అయితే తొందరగా చేయరు.
Definitely 200%. One of these hacks, guys. Just one of these hacks, if you implement properly based on what you learned here today, you will make 100x the money that you spent for today's masterclass. So congratulations, guys. You are now in the top 10% of
అట్లా
financial literacy in India. Please give yourself a big pat on your back for taking out the time on a weekend to come and learn about finance and investing and taxation with us. It is not easy to sit for 2 hours,
అంతే
right? A lot of people have very little patience today because of social media. If you are able to sit for 2 hours, that itself
కానీ ఆ రిలేషన్
is an
ఎంత
achievement.
పెట్టుకోవాలి అంతే పెట్టుకోవాలి.
But I'm sure you guys are wondering
అట్లా చెప్తున్నాను నేను మీకు.
how to get to the top 1% of India. How do we actually implement all of these things that has been taught here today?
ప్రపంచం మీద
How many of you all are interested to reach that top 1% and actually help you implement these things? Right? Because I'm sure you would have realized by now that it is very easy to listen to someone, you know, how to invest and how to manage. Can you learn swimming by watching somebody swim? Or do you actually have to get into the water and learn how to swim yourself?
నా బాధ్యత నా
Right?
వాళ్ళ బాధ్యత
So investing is just like that. Just by listening to someone talk about their investing is not going to help you become financially free. You have to get in
మంచిగా చదువుకొని మంచిగా తీసుకొని మంచిగా ఉంటే చాలు.
from the rest 99% of India. So how many of you all are willing to make that commitment,
చదువుకోవాలంటే
who are ready to put a sincere effort to implement these things and transform your life? Please write me in the chat section if you are interested. I'm seeing a lot of people saying me. I would like to request one thing from you guys. Can I take 10 minutes of your time to explain to you how we can help you? In 10 minutes, you will know exactly what is the 1% club. Do I have your permission? Please write yes in the chat section if I have your permission. Fantastic. Let me begin. So firstly, guys, remember in the beginning of the masterclass I said, achieving financial freedom is not just about learning how to save taxes. It is about optimizing your credit cards, planning your insurance, investing in the stock market, investing in mutual funds, investing in real estate. Mastering all of these things are important to achieve financial freedom. But can you really afford a financial planner to do all of these things for you? And that is the problem in front of every single one of you today. You are like, Sharan, I didn't learn all of these things in school. So can I hire somebody to do it for me? Just like when you fall sick, you go to a doctor because you have not studied medicine. Similarly, when you know that your finances are not doing well, you're losing money, you're not investing properly, you want to take that expert help and you go to a financial planner. Their fee is 1 lakh rupees every year. How many of you all, please be honest here guys, how many of you all can actually afford to pay 1 lakh rupees every year for a financial planner? No, right? I mean, it's too expensive. And the reason for that is shortage. There are only 1,000 financial planners in India. To be precise, less than 900. The actual number is about 885 people, financial planners in India. That's it. So this is the problem, right? Very little financial planners. This number has come down based on a recent SEBI article I read. This number has come down to 800 people. Very little people, only crorepattis and millionaires can afford them. Middle class Indians only have to rely on our bank relationship manager or your LIC uncle. And to make matters worse, very high inflation. Cannot even afford to buy a 3 BHK house in India today. Very expensive. And FD is very, very low interest rates. How many of you all agree with me that these are the problems that you guys are facing? Agree or not agree? Yeah, Chandan is saying bank RMs are useless. They only call you for loans. They don't pick up your call for helping you with investments. That is exactly, guys, why we started the 1% club. 1% club is the unfair advantage that every middle class person in this country will have if they are serious to take action. Action is needed. It is not easy. You need to give that action and dedication. 1% club to date has already helped 1 lakh people. We are a SEBI registered company. Remember I told you there are 850 companies in India which are SEBI registered. We are one of those SEBI registered companies. We have 30 plus hours of learning from experts like CA Nitesh, me, and a lot of other experts I will introduce you to very shortly. We have 25 plus financial planning tools to actually help you execute the things that we are teaching you. It is not just giving you gyan. Gyan, you can go to YouTube and chat GPT. Here we are actually helping you to execute and implement the things. Because without implementation, we do not want to, we do not want you to come here. If you are ready to implement, then come here. Everybody can read a book and call themselves Warren Buffett. People who actually go and implement those things are the ones who actually become rich. Right? This is our office, guys. We are based out of Mumbai. We are a team of more than 100 people. This is the office where I'm currently sitting in right now. So we opened this office about 1.5 years back. More than 100 people, and our singular mission is to help people achieve financial freedom. That is my life's mission, which I feel, why I wake up in the morning every single day to work so hard. Like I told you, this is our SEBI registration. We got it about 8 months back, and all put together today we are managing more than 1,200 crores of the public's money as of today. We are also backed by Zerodha. Zerodha is India's largest fintech company, and Nikhil Kamath is an investor in the 1% Club. So how exactly can we help you? So the 1% Club, guys, is a 4-week boot camp. If you join the 1% Club today, you will be added to a WhatsApp group. In that WhatsApp group, we will tell you exactly over the next 4 weeks what to study and how to implement the things that we are teaching you. It's 4 weeks, 15 minutes of time per day. I hope every single one of us here have 15 minutes of free time per day. Please write yes or no in the chat section if you have 15 minutes of free time per day. Everybody has, right? And it is any time of the day. It can be morning, afternoon, evening, night, any time of the day. And it doesn't matter where you are starting from. Even if you have zero knowledge in finance, you are like, Sharan, I don't know the ABCD of finance also. I don't even know what is interest rate, what is fixed deposit, what is the stock. I have zero knowledge. I don't even know what is Nifty. Doesn't matter. The youngest person of the 1% Club is a 14-year-old student. The oldest person is a 67-year-old retired person. So it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you are a doctor, lawyer, actor, engineer, NRI. It doesn't matter. We have people from more than 800 cities all over the world. So it is customized and suitable for every single person. If you're a salaried person, business owner, doesn't matter. Everybody is welcome. So I'll tell you what the 4 weeks look like. The first week is to create a custom financial plan. This Master Financial Planner tool I showed you earlier, we will build this in the first week itself. You will build it and I will teach you. I will teach you how to build this for you. Not just for you, but also for your family members, for your parents. I manage my mom's and dad's money as well using tools like this. So I will teach you how to create a complete financial plan based on your own financial goals. This will be taught to you within the first week itself. Monday to Friday. On weekends, Saturday, Sunday, we will have 3 live sessions with 3 experts. One is with our insurance expert, where we will teach you how to pick the right health insurance and life insurance for you and for your parents and for your kids. Not just that, we will get on a one-on-one call with every single one of you. Right now, I'm talking to more than 1,500 people. I am talking to 1,500 people. Imagine sitting on a one-on-one call with my team, where we will tell you what is the right health insurance and life insurance for you. Whether your existing company health insurance is correct or not. To give you an example, when I was working in KPMG, I got into a surgery, and I ended up paying 2 lakhs from my own pocket, even though I had company health insurance, because my company health insurance was faulty and I got scammed. So I do not want that to happen to people who are in my age or people who are not earning a lot of money. So we created this insurance advisory as part of the 1% Club, and every single one who joins will get that one-on-one advisory. Next session is with the CEO of India Bonds, where he will teach you how to get these 9 to 14% returns in bonds. This what I showed you earlier.
సూపర్ బ్యాచ్ అని కూడా క్రియేట్ చేశారు.
This portfolio was helped by this man who is the CEO of India Bonds. His name is Vishal Goenka, and he will be teaching you how to do it. And every single one of you will be able to come on a one-on-one call to help you invest in bonds. Next is a live session by the CEO of Mudrex. He will teach you how to invest in cryptocurrencies. So this portfolio I showed you earlier was helped by him itself. He only helped me build it, and we will help every single 1% club member to get on a one-on-one call with the crypto expert as well.
కానీ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ కూడా
This is just first week, guys. Just first week you get all of these
మనం
things.
కంపెనీలో జాయిన్ అయినాక అక్కడ ట్రైన్
Second week is actually helping you invest like the top 1%. How to invest in equity mutual funds, how to invest in debt funds, how to invest in hybrid funds, how to invest in the US market.
పెడతారు.
This portfolio I showed you guys earlier.
జస్ట్ నేర్చుకోవడం కాకుండా కొంచెం ఎక్కువ ఇంట్రెస్ట్
I will be helping you teach how to invest in mutual funds to get you these kind of returns. Right? How to invest in those mutual funds, I will be teaching you. Step by step process, I will be teaching you guys.
వినకపోయినా కూడా
And on the weekends, there is 2 live sessions. The second week, there are 2 live sessions. One is with our credit card expert.
చెప్పేటప్పుడు మంచిగా
Imagine never having to pay for your vacations.
మనము
I go on at least 3 vacations a year, 1 domestic, 2 international vacations, and I don't pay a single rupee for flights or hotels. Why? Because I know what is the right credit card for me and how to use those credit points in the right manner. So I get up to 80-90% discount on my flights and hotel bookings. We will teach you that in a live session, and it will be taught by Ali Hajri. Then there is a live session on how to get more than 5x returns in real estate in 3 years. That will be taught by our real estate expert in week 2. Are you excited so far with what I'm talking about, guys? Because this kind of a program doesn't exist in India. We are the only ones who do this. I see a lot of yeses in the chat section, guys, and I'm only half done. Week 3 is where we get into taxes. A complete tax workshop will be taught in week 3, and it will be taught by CA Nitesh every day. He will be teaching you how to unlock more than 50 lakhs worth of tax hacks post 2025 budget. Because do you want to talk about the things that you'll be covering in week 3 of the tax mega workshop?
Yes, Sharan. So, for example, we have just touched upon a few tax things which you all can follow, like that. How you can save taxes involving your family members. Should you open the HUF, and how you can save taxes through HUF. How the other kind of deduction and exemption you can use to plan your taxes, and practically, honestly, anything is possible on the personal finance taxation gamut is covered 8 hours of content, and maybe more than that, Sharan, through the live sessions.
8 hours of content, guys, and live sessions with CA Nitesh, where you can ask any sort of doubts and questions. And the last week, guys, is where you get the certificate from us saying that, hey, you have qualified to be your family's financial planner. You are now qualified and have reached the top 1%, where you can manage your own portfolio, invest your parents' portfolio, plan your kids' expenses, and become your family's financial planner. You will become that trusted person in your family where everybody comes to for help. And then you unlock a secret session, which I will not talk about today. Once you complete the 4 weeks, I will come again and I will tell you what is that secret session that you will unlock. So how many of you all are excited to join these 4-week bootcamp, guys? How many of you all are excited? Please write me in the chat section if you are excited to join this 4-week bootcamp. Like I told you guys, it is not just learning. You get 3 free consultations with our insurance expert, bond expert, SEBI registered expert. So rest assured, you always have someone to speak to if you have doubts, if you have questions. Most people will only sell you one course. They will never give you hand-holding support. And that is where the real problems come. So we have ensured that we have a large 100 people team in Mumbai to ensure that you guys get the right kind of support with any questions that you have. So this is what the platform looks like. Let me just quickly show you what it looks like. So this is the online portal, guys. Sorry, not this. So this is the online portal. This is what the platform looks like. I hope you guys can see my screen. This is our community where there are more than 1 lakh people already. This guy has just completed the one. Look at this. Feeling grateful to be part of the 1% club. Already making a positive shift in my learning journey. Right? This is like people who are real people, right? Real people who are members of the 1% club.
మళ్ళీ
This is where the academy
ఇలా
section is,
డాక్టర్ కదా
where you will find access to all our courses.
పక్కనే
This is 30 hours of content across retirement planning, stock market, insurance, credit cards, tax planning, car savings, real estate and crypto is also coming up very, very soon. Right? And this is where we conduct our online live sessions. Every week, we have 2 to 3 live sessions that are happening.
చదువుకునే
Next. Now, let me ask you guys, how many of y'all are interested to join the 1% club? I'm sure every single one of you want to join this. Nothing like this exists in India. And the problem is that financial planners charge you 1 lakh rupees plus GST every year. Nobody can afford this here. Maybe 1 or 2 people can afford. What if I told you that the 1% club membership is a lifetime membership and you just have to pay 99,000 rupees, 997 one time for your whole life? How many of y'all think that this is a fair deal for everything that I just spoke about? Please write fair or not fair. If this is something that you think is fair for a lifetime membership. And you can be honest, guys. You can be honest. Yash fair, Poonam not fair, Rishabh not fair, Suramya fair, Prakash fair, Sagar can't afford, Abhilash not fair, Anand not fair, Mohan not fair, very costly, Venkat is saying fair, K. Anand is saying fair, not fair, not fair, fair. I'm seeing almost 50% are saying fair, 50% is saying not fair. The good news is that this is not the price. This is what I was trying to tell you is that I feel like this is a fair price because the value that you will get is far more than the 1 lakh rupees